Hello, Farmer Chris.
Hey, we're back at it again.
We are back at it again. This is, man, nobody ever sees the behind the scenes stuff.
I know.
This is a very impromptu podcast.
Pretty quick, ain't it?
It is pretty quick. Like, you were harvesting corn an hour or so ago.
Yeah.
I was auction shopping an hour ago. And
Oh, yeah.
now the clouds have broke loose and we're here.
If we're recording podcasts, that normally means it's raining outside.
Yeah. It's, so, I'm going to make fun of myself here. This is never good. So the podcasts come out faster than my videos.
Okay.
So this isn't the History Channel.
This ain't the History
This is the preview to the History.
These are moving pretty quick here.
These are moving pretty quick. But what is today? What is time what today is? Today's the December 9th. You're getting really close to closing in on harvest.
Yeah, we got about 250 acres of corn to wrap up here. We should be done by the end of the week, I'm hoping. So.
Yeah, we got a little bit of weather this weekend, and you'll be in pretty good shape from
We've
there on
dodged a lot of the rain they're talking about today. So.
I know. Yeah, they were talking like inches, and we may end up with an inch out of this if we don't get a heavy pocket set on top of us. But we're still down Jason. Hopefully Jason will get in on podcast so far, but you're the new intern permanent.
Whatever I am, I'll help out.
You're what's available.
Yeah, I'm close and can get here. So.
All right, well, the last two, I guess, was Logger Wade. This is the first one we've recorded since recording with Logger Wade. You want to recap on that one real quick before we get too far into this?
I had to go back and watch it when it aired out just to make sure I caught everything that happened that evening.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
Wade is a hoot now. And,
I mean, me and you have both known him for a really long time.
Yep.
And honest, he's changed, but he hasn't.
He has not changed.
I mean, Wade has stayed true to Wade from pretty much day one.
Yeah, he's Wade's Wade. He's lived in that sawmill, his whole life.
That's all he knows.
As country as they can get, honest as they can get, and everything's going to be hysterical.
And he's a lot smarter than what a lot of people and himself give him credit for.
Yeah, and we've seen
almost to a fault.
Yeah, we've seen some of that come out when he got talking about some timber there. So
I don't know. I'm glad. So since we posted that podcast, we'll call that our therapy session with Logger Wade.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
He's posted 2 videos. By the time this comes out, he may have posted more.
Yes. Yep.
I hope, Wade has worked so hard and so long doing what he did on social media. And I know with the way the business went and the way some social media things were going, I think he stopped having fun with it. I think in the big scheme of things, the break may have been a good thing for him. But I hope he comes back and stays in moderation.
Yeah, take a reset. So he took some things too serious on social media. So
yeah, and he got off in the weeds a few times. Maybe he shouldn't have, but maybe that's a way to kind of hit the pause button and then come back, change directions. And
some people want to poke fun at you for the History Channel. Mm-hmm. Do you think he was forced to make some videos and got mixed up and got some things and got confused?
Honestly, and I've told Wade this before, and I've told Chris Let's Dig 18 this before. They wanted to post a video every day.
Yeah.
There is, first off, the quality of my videos would not be there.
Yeah.
I'd be just, I hate to call this guy out by name, but we've talked about it, but I feel like caught in top 3 sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like the guy, met the guy, hung out with the guy. I'm not picking on the guy, but he'll be driving down the road and just randomly video something because I feel like he thinks he needs a video that day.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. Like, I want you guys to come to work with me and hang out. That's what I want my videos to feel like. Like you're coming to work and you're hanging out. Whatever we're doing that day, you're part of it. That's the ultimate goal of my videos. I think Wade got caught up in, I had to have a video every day. I think the quality of his videos started suffering because of that. I think he got burnt out on it. I mean, what saves me is I can go 2-3 weeks and not film or edit.
Yeah, you've got them already edited
and
I
can take a break and who am I to say, but I can sit here and go on and on and on about how busy we're all busy, but you got to time management's the key. So
it's what little I filmed or edited, it's time consuming for me. It was just the time management. So
I've got it down to an art. Filming don't hardly take, keeping keeping hot batteries in the camera is more of a trouble than filming. But editing still takes a little bit of time. And if I get a day like today where I can sit here and edit 6, 7, 8 videos.
Well, that's what you're working on when I pulled in here. So.
Yeah.
But no, Wade is a hoot. Lord Mike worked on some of that too.
Yeah, and I've got rumors that I think we're going to get a podcast with Lord Muck, and he is a very, very interesting guy.
Cool.
So hopefully we'll have that to you sooner than later.
Yeah.
And I've got a few other. I don't want to mention them. I haven't even mentioned them to you yet. I need to talk to you about them.
Okay.
I don't want to promise these people
and nothing
don't show up.
Yeah.
I got a couple strong
Special
possibilities.
guests.
Yeah. Strong guests. So, but yeah. It's. I just hope Wade. You guys need to stay on Wade's channel. He's posted 2 videos. They've both done very well. Hopefully he can keep it going. We obviously both wish the best for Wade.
Oh yeah. He's. And like I said, it was I went through his switching reins of the operation, and it's a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's going through too. And something had to give up just a little bit, and that's what
you guys. I guess you guys do have that. I kind of was the.
You started yours from the whole operation, scratch, and I had the.
I don't know which one's easier though.
I know.
Honestly, there's pros and cons to both, I think.
Yeah, we had the, we turned our reins over in 2015. Seemed like when ours started switching, and seemed like his is starting about now.
Not to get way off in the weeds here, but one major difference between your situation and his situation is your dad's taking a lot more of a back seat.
Yes.
Than what Phil and Joanne have. Which, not saying either one's right or wrong, but that's. Yours was kind of a light switch. Well, here's is kind of a little trickle transition, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, it was good to catch up with Wade. Everybody assumes since I live next door to him that
you see him every day.
I see him every day. We talk every day. We hang out every evening. That's not the case. I mean, other than seeing him, I feel like this microphone's all up in my face here. Hope it's not bothering you guys. Other than seeing him. Occasionally coming in and out the driveway. We both live on a dead-end road and waving.
Wave at each other.
We're lucky to talk once a month for a brief second and just catch each other out. So transition over Captain Kleeman. It was good to get him on here too. It's kind of odd that we're all right here in this little pocket of Derby and kind of had some success on social media.
There is. There's a lot of social media coming out of the little pocket
and
here.
There's 2 other really big channels that are in completely different genres that come out of here.
Okay.
One being Roy Kramer, which had an MTV show, Dare to Live.
Really?
He graduated with my cousin Ben. I did a bunch of work for his brother. And Andrew Sly, which is sponsored by Tesla.
Oh, really?
He's got a big channel too.
Okay.
They're just in different worlds than what we are. But I mean, coming from a county with 17,000 people in it, to have that many people that are made it pretty big. It's pretty wild. So, but no, it was good catching up with Kleeman. Kleeman and I, we don't go back as long as Wade and I, but we go back a long way. So, all right, what are we going to talk about today? What's our subject?
How many bad customers we got?
You're going to get me.
They're all good customers, though.
You're going to get me in trouble, ain't you? All right, so this is a podcast topic I've had on my mind for a while. And
we got to watch about using the generic name we put on the bad customers.
Yeah, that's no joke, Johnny Pope. They lived up to that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right, so what I want to cover a couple different things here. There's good customers, there's bad customers, there's good contractors, there's bad contractors, there's good farmers, there's bad farmers.
Yep.
So I guess being a bad customer can cost you a whole lot of money.
And you not know it.
And you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Not the percentage of farmers and contractors that are bad is
very little.
Very little. But they give all of us a bad name.
Yep.
And with the internet and all this, so I guess the purpose of this podcast is not to pick on anybody, but maybe give some examples and some stuff to think about if you're a contractor or if you're willing to have work done. just educate people,
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to go about it. So which side of this you want to start on, contractor or customer?
I have no idea.
Let's go.
Well, I'm the customer.
Yeah, well, you're all the above, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let's go contractor side.
Okay.
So if you're a customer and you're wanting to hire work to have done, obviously the first thing you need to do is your research, but it don't take long to figure out who's legit and who's not. So I'm gonna just give you a handful of absolute red flags. If they say or do this, you're in trouble. The very first red flag is that you ask them when they can start and they say tomorrow.
Yeah. They're not very busy, are they?
No.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they can start tomorrow.
Yeah.
So any reputable contractor, anybody, I don't care who they are.
In this time of day.
In this day and age, even if they're not very busy and we're in an economic crisis, there is no way they can start tomorrow.
Yeah.
They are too professional. They're too well planned. They got too much stuff sorted out.
You said the big one there, too well planned.
Yeah. They think way past what's coming up tomorrow and the day after. You know, they're at minimum weeks out because they're looking into the future. They're not finishing up a job and then looking around going, what am I doing
What's
next?
my next job? Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're starting their second to last job on their schedule, and they're already trying to be out there kicking up and doing what they're doing. And
Well, you gotta have a lot of logistics and a lot of material in
Right.
play before
So,
you start that job.
If somebody shows up and you ask them when they can start and they can say tomorrow, oh boy.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm not saying this to be saying this. I have seen guys, I've lost job after job after job when people come behind me and say I can be there in 6 weeks, and they say they can be there tomorrow. Customer's in a hurry, price is a little bit better. Let's get her done.
Let's get her done.
And probably half those jobs, I go back and end up finishing.
Are you on those jobs anyways?
Yeah, and it ends up costing them longer in the long run.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys one example in the videos. Like I said, I'm not going to mention names, but if you guys watch the videos of me putting the retaining wall behind that house that the basement was already dug, we bid on that whole job.
Yeah.
To do everything.
Yep.
I couldn't get there fast enough. My price was too high.
Uh-huh.
I showed up and I ended up charging them more because they decided to go a different
It was harder to work around then at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can't, there was a general contractor involved in there, but that's just, I want to give you guys some real world examples of that please don't take us the wrong way. I'm not on here bashing nobody. I'm just giving you guys the ways to protect yourself whenever you're out there doing that. So number one, if the contractor shows up, you ask him when he starts and he says tomorrow,
better look out.
better look out.
Yeah.
Red flag number 2. They ask for money before they start.
I've known some of them asking to do that.
So whenever we used to build houses, we did ask for some money up front because we were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on material.
Yeah.
But there was a very detailed contract. And usually the only money, we'd have it detailed out, the only money we would ask for is money for materials.
Yep.
We wouldn't ask for any of our labor, any of our services, or anything like that. Since I've stopped building houses, I don't ask for money up front for anybody's. Now, I know in different markets and in different places, it's not uncommon for people to put deposits down.
Uh-huh.
So it protects your place on a contractor's schedule.
Yep.
That's different than paying for a service up front.
Yes, yeah.
Because here's what's happening if that contractor's asking for money up front.
He's needing money to finish the job he's working on.
He's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Because the guy he's trying to finish up far back here, he owes a bunch of money on too. So he's coming to you trying to get this thing signed, get a check, go back and pay that guy. And then you're going to be the next guy in line. He's done spent your money on somebody else's project.
Yeah. You hope he hopes he gets a project lined up to finish your project.
Right, to fund yours. And man, I've seen these guys time and time and time again. They just never.
It ends up catching up to him over time.
Right.
Yeah.
It ends up catching up to him over time. And I feel like, I've been at this for 20 years now.
Yeah.
I've seen the guys come and go. I've seen the cycles go. And I can read. There's been some other contractors come up behind me, and I'm like, well, he's going to be legit. He's going to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they do.
Yep.
And then you see these guys that don't make it. So this one may be odd. Red flag number 3. Any ideas what it would be?
I do not.
If you see his name plastered over every newspaper, every magazine, I mean, just advertising out the wazoo. The best advertising you can get is word of mouth.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So a lot of times guys try to advertise to cover up other
bad stuff.
Bad
stuff. Yeah.
I should say that is maybe not that way everywhere, and maybe higher competitive markets, that's a little bit different.
Yep.
But if you got cheesy advertising and you're just going all out trying to get every lead you can possibly get.
Drawing for strings, draws. Right.
You're probably not going to get the results you want.
Yeah.
From that particular.
I would agree with that.
Particular contractor. Now, some people are going to argue this fact a little bit, and I will strongly disagree with it. If the 2 contractors pull up to your house and one's in a brand new truck and one's in an old beat up truck, you got to go with the guy in a brand new truck, right?
No.
Why not, Farmer Chris?
I don't know. I mean, that'd be a touchy one. I mean, you're a hardworking guy. He's going to deserve a new truck at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a new truck. It's 12 years old.
Yeah.
But, that'd be a touchy situation.
Yeah.
Depends on how decked out that truck is.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having nice equipment and nice stuff.
Yeah.
But these guys that get into the look at me mentality,
Yep.
9 times out of 10, they want to jump on the scene and make a big splash, and then they realize they're in over their head.
Yeah.
So I guess I should word it like this. If it's a new guy that just got started and he shows up with a bunch of new stuff,
yeah,
you might want to be concerned. If it's an established company that's been around for a good long
That'd be a
while,
good way of stating that, yeah.
Established company has been around for a good long time, I would not have any concerns. Any concerns about that, absolutely whatsoever. So
you're about ready to get a new semi then?
no.
Oh, okay.
I've been in business 20 years. I've only bought 2 things brand new. One of them is that pedal hitch trailer.
Okay.
Because I knew what I wanted, and the only reason I bought that brand new is because I special ordered it to get the features I wanted.
Yep.
Which, that was a $8,500 purchase.
Yeah.
The other one I've only bought brand new is the 210 Hyundai. And that was, the only reason that deal happened new is because Hyundai,
Yeah.
they didn't give it to me, but they stepped up to the plate.
Yeah. You got
it
to
happen. So,
yeah, that was a good deal on that. So I cannot say the same. You know, it seems like on the ag world, we are buying new equipment. But we can't, I don't think we can get the hours on the equipment that you guys get on your equipment for some reason.
no, I'm not going to lie, your shit's junk.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I look at the quality of, and it's not John Deere, it's not Case, it's not New Holland, it's not any of them. They're all the same.
Yeah.
I feel like it's starting to get a little bit better, but you look at the, just take a 50 horse loader tractor, for example. Yeah. You look at, the
amount of steel in one.
You look versus a backhoe. I mean, there's no comparison.
I agree.
On the way those two are built. You look at these dozers that are go out here and made to run 15,000, 20,000 hours. If you can get 5,000 hours out of a tractor, you feel like you've really done something, haven't you?
You know, even like at John Deere 110 you had.
Yeah.
I mean, it was construction. It was built pretty decent machine.
Yeah.
You take a John Deere ag tractor, the same horsepower.
Never make it.
It ain't going to hold up to it, and I don't understand why they don't keep up.
Everything's engineered like half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is some truth to that for sure. I mean, you got anything that you've hired a lot of contractors over the years?
We hired a lot of contractors over the years.
I can can we name your favorite ones?
Yeah. You probably know more than I do because I sleep hard at night. So, you know, we had a contractor. He done some good work for what I did, but he just struggled to finish up the project. He was always ready to move on. And then, you know, we ran there 3 or 4 years, and you was actually in there doing a lot of finish up work when you started doing for us. So
yeah, finishing up stuff that
I had started and didn't get done. So, you know, I was there as far as one contractor, but he was experienced.
Yeah,
you know, he had some time.
He's actually a really good operator.
He's a good operator. He didn't have new equipment.
No.
He don't have a new truck. You know.
No, he did not.
No. So, but no, he was really good.
Yeah.
And you know, the biggest part I think that broke off the straw on the camel's back there was alcohol and politics.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, long story short, if you guys are looking to hire a contractor, even if it really don't matter how big or how small it is, in today's day and age, it does not take long to do a little bit of research on somebody. You know, word of mouth advertising is so great because it's coming from a customer they've worked for, so they got firsthand experience of how that went down. So that's, if you know a customer of theirs from previous jobs and you can talk to that customer, that's usually your best. Guys, there is no project out there that goes perfectly as planned.
Oh, I
don't care how good a contractor you are, crap's gonna get screwed up.
I don't care what kind of engineering you got, it ain't gonna go
It
right.
ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So how you guys deal with that and how you overcome that, that goes a long ways. You know, there's so many tricks in the book. These guys come in here, especially building houses, they'd want to lowball you.
Yeah.
And then I know on the back end what this guy's going to do. He's going to give you $60,000, $70,000 worth of change orders, and guess what? Your price is right back where mine was at. It's Mr. Man behind the scenes. He's going to have to wait.
But you know, even since we've been even using you for a contractor, you know, if we've got a neighbor doing some work and we need a small project done, we still jump ship and go over because it ain't use time. If his equipment's already there, why not utilize that? You know, time you haul in and do a $300 job, you know, it's for something little nitpick shit I need. So,
but yeah, you know, do a little bit of research. It will not take long. Don't trust their website. Don't trust their reviews. Find a customer or two.
Find the customers.
If they've been around for a while and they do good work, it will not be hard to find a little bit about their background, their history. You know, one thing to be a little bit cautious about, but I don't want to call it a red flag, is if it's a startup company, that don't mean the people running the company are startups.
Yeah.
So, you know, at one point I was a startup company, right? But I had 10 years of construction
business or background
before I ever started. So the name was new, but the experience wasn't. If you get a guy that's never done construction in his life and started a company, now that might be
it's a struggle.
That's a little bit of a struggle because you're learning on two different fronts. You know what I mean?
And we've got one in the county like that. But
think we're gonna make it through this whole podcast without saying the name?
I don't know. But you know, it's a surprise how well the dirt work customers spread good work and bad work word of mouth because they're never really together a whole lot.
Yeah, and
you know, besides just church or community functions or something.
And our county's a little bit unique.
And we're small though.
There's not a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be whatever, but in the dirt world of the size of work I do, there's another guy, which I think is the one you're talking about, that does build some ponds and stuff. And then I'll mention Matt by name. He's kind of got out of the dirt work. He still does a little bit, but he's got more in the concrete, and we work with him a little bit.
Yeah, he's took off in the concrete world.
But yeah, it just don't assume. Most of us guys out here are no different than you guys. Go to work, trying to earn a living, come home, feed the family, and wake up and do it all over again tomorrow. We do not wake up thinking how we're going to screw our way into some money today so we can make it through another day.
But there is one or two of them out there.
And those guys out there, it aggravates the hell out of me. Those guys out there, you know, I don't know what the saying is, but one bad apple ruins the bunch. You know what I mean? People get stuck on that. And it's like, oh my God, you can't get away from it. So,
but
you know, even me being a contractor, you know, I've hired a lot of contractors
Yeah.
as subs.
Subcontractors under you.
And, you know, you hire enough of them, you learn real quick, you know, the red flags to look for and the things to look for. And there's a lot, I hate to say it, because I used to hate this saying, but it's so true. You get what you pay for.
Get what you pay for. I agree with that for sure.
You get what you pay for. It's, it is what it is. So, well, you want to flip the script and talk about customers.
Well, I hope I'm one of the good ones.
So, over the years, I have had, I guess your customers are technically your landlords, right?
I would say that, yeah.
And I think a lot of this stuff's probably going to
Yeah.
apply from
Yeah.
one to the other. But, you know, I'm not going to lie. Whenever I first got into business, I was probably a little bit naive about reading customers and not following my gut.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of thinking I could be different than everybody else. And no matter what the situation was, I'd come out on the top, right? But after doing this for 20 years, you start to learn patterns. And whenever I meet with you to look at a job, within probably the first 5 minutes,
You know what's going to take place.
yeah, I can tell you exactly how that job's going to go.
I get the same feeling. And for some reason, I take it farther than landowners. I take it to a lot of people. And mom and dad, it drives them nuts. Because 95% of the time, I'm right, and they can't figure out why I can read them like that. But, yeah, you know, if I meet with a new landowner, I know if it's going to be a long 5 years or a short 5 years, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's some that just, here it is,
Go
with it.
You're the professional.
I know what, you know, just do it. And there's some that just sits there and just nitpicks, and you're doing it this. We need to do it like this. And the whole time I'm on the property, I'm just like on pins and needles.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared of what the next thing. I keep watching the back door of the house, wait for them to come out, you know.
So, from my side of things, the number one red flag a customer can throw up, like by far, the number one red flag is if I show up to look at your job and the first thing you want to tell me is how the last 3 contractors screwed you. Because I can guarantee you whenever I leave and the next guy shows up, it's going to be the last 4 contractors.
The next 4.
Well, here's the news flash.
Yeah.
The common denominator between all those contractors is you.
Is the one, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you are not, there is scenarios where people may have got taken advantage of.
Yeah.
The chances you get it 3 times in a row, and then you start asking, you know, of course they say that. My first questions is, who was it? What happened?
Yeah, you want to know what happened.
So there's a few contractors, and they mention their names. I'm like, all right, maybe it's legit. And then if they mention all these other contractors, which they're probably going to mention, I'm like, no. Because here's what you customers don't realize. All of us contractors talk to some extent.
Yep.
One way or another. Hello, Miss Jenna.
Are you
Recording a podcast, yes.
you didn't tell me that was happening?
All of us contractors talk.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't saying we're best friends.
Yep. But we know each other's reputation.
Right. And if I'm on a big job and somebody on that job calls this guy and that guy knows I'm there, I'm his next phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to go out and badmouth the customer, but I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. I'm going to give you my side of the story the same way they're giving you your side of the story. So, excuse me, if I meet you and the first thing you want to do is badmouth everybody else that's worked for you, I know for a fact I'm going to be on that list and I'm out.
See, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't know, and I don't do it all the time, but if I get a call to look at a piece of land that another farmer got ran off of,
and
I actually know who's been on it, I'll call that farmer.
Yeah.
You know, what
Which
in the world?
in my world's the same as
Yeah, what in the world's going over here? What flags do I need to look at? Do I even want to mess with it? You know,
because even though you and that farmer may be competition, there's times where you still need to work together.
work together. Yeah,
And it's the same way in my world with us contractors.
Yeah.
You know, we all work together. We all intertwine with each other. So
we're competition, but we're one community.
yeah.
Yeah,
Number 2 red flag, and this was really close to being a number 1 red flag. This is going to be
the tie, huh?
This is going to be controversial.
Okay.
I can't say that word. If the first words out of your mouth is "I'm an engineer,"
Oh boy. Yeah.
because what you just said there, for 90% of the people with that title I've worked for, is you might as well have said, "I'm right, you're wrong."
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Yeah.
And I've tried my damnedest over the years to work with a bunch of them, and I've always ended up being wrong.
You're not the educated one. Yeah,
They're convinced even though I do this for a living,
I agree.
and they engineer computer chips, and I'm building you a house, they still know more about it.
Yep.
So I guess the moral of that story is the guy that does it every day may be a little more educated about what's going on than what you realize. Does that make sense?
It
And
depends
maybe
on what
I
he's an
shouldn't-
engineer in too. So,
Right.
Yeah. You know, he can be an automotive engineer and not know.
I'm going to use this for an example, though. I built a house for 2 surveyors. Mm-hmm. Both surveyors said, "I'll stake out my corners and I'll square my house up for you." Guess what?
They were off square.
Both damn houses were off. It's my fault. I should have went back and checked them.
Should have double checked them. Yeah.
But I ain't the one that's got 6 and 7 years of schooling on how to square up a damn house.
Yeah.
They do. Now, I'm not saying I've never had one off a little bit, but it,
Yeah, that's interesting. Ain't it?
yeah, just because you're an expert in your
Yeah.
field does not mean you can't make mistakes too. Does
Yep.
that make sense? Because as I said previously, I know for a fact we make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I make a mistake every day.
I
I make 2 or 3 mistakes some days.
And it's kind of funny because some professionals you work for, doctors, even lawyers, ain't that bad a lot of times. I've worked for a lot of doctors, a lot of lawyers, a lot of professionals.
They're just happy to have the work done.
They do their research, they're confident in who they hired, and they're hands off.
Yep.
Call me if you need me. And I can promise you those guys probably get a lot better quality job than somebody that's over there micromanaging
Yeah, I would agree with that.
24/7. Not saying they don't keep tabs on what's going on. They are very aware of what's going on. But they're not over there questioning every move you make. And like these engineers, half the time they're questioning and stuff, we're halfway down the damn job. You're going to brace that? Can I not take lunch?
Then you got to start and redo it.
Yeah, can I not take lunch?
Yeah.
I mean, like I just hung the damn truss. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it ain't going nowhere for the next 45 minutes. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not finished.
I agree.
Here's the other thing an engineer will do is, and I've had this happen several times, and I just laugh every time I do it, is like these ICF walls and these footers we pour. We have structural engineered prints, charts that these companies have spent millions of dollars to develop on rebar schedule, lintel schedule, footer size, this, that, and the other. They're zoned out as far as where we're located at in the United States, and we follow all that.
Yep.
Well, we'll build a house for a structural engineer, and he'll end up adding $30,000 to the price because he thinks he needs this, this, and this. That ain't right.
Sounds like my father.
And his house ain't no better than one I built down the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're
That ain't where I thought you was gonna go with that one.
Like you could have a better house than the guy down the street, but let's spend it in places like it really matters. Like
Could be
let's
used.
Yeah, let's strengthen up some roof systems, some floor systems, some connection points, this, that, and the other. But I mean, you can put all the damn rebar on your wall you want. The wall's only going to have to hold so much.
Yeah,
and it's not like a
only
car's
so
going to
strong.
hit a basement wall because you can't get through the dirt. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I never claimed to be an engineer, never want to be an engineer, but something about the mindset of those people. A guy that's never drove a nail in his life
Knows
is
more than you do.
convinced he knows more about driving that nail than you have, and you've drove millions of them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So experience and education have to mesh somewhere to make that happen. And I know I've worked with some good engineers over the years. We had one of them on here, Gator.
Oh, Gator, yeah. He's a common sense engineer.
But out of all the professions out there, as far as doctors, lawyers, all the professionals, engineers, the by far biggest.
Biggest one, the hardest one to work with.
Yeah, by far the hardest one to work with. The biggest,
Yeah.
biggest red flag. I kind of touched on this one a little bit, but the micromanaging your contractor. So
Yeah.
that's probably my third red flag. I can tell from the initial meeting kind of this is how I can tell you can be a micromanager. Because you're not going to care about how many ply gird or truss I'm going to put in your house, but you are absolutely worried to death about where the downspout's going to go.
Okay.
So some people get so caught up in the details and HGTV and this, that, and the other.
They forget the big picture.
They forget the big picture. And what ends up happening with these people is you go and frame the house up and you get the house under roof and you get the windows in it and everything is good. Then it starts coming down to where you got to make all these final decisions on everything. Well, next thing you know, one day you're moving the wall over here, the next day you're moving the wall over here, and then we're moving this window over here because we didn't think about that, and then we're doing this, that, and the other, and it's a never-ending cycle up to the end. And what that ends up doing is you can do all the planning you want in the beginning because it saves you money because everybody knows what they're getting into going forward.
Yep.
You start making all these change orders, you just might as well open up your checkbook because now this contractor didn't bid on that, so that's outside his contract, right? So you're as a customer, you're very susceptible to large numbers of change orders that are rightly probably billed to you, but the customer never sees it that way. They think they're getting screwed because I was going to build that house and
it's supposed to be in the contract, the original deal.
And you know, just one example that stands out is we built a nice house and we had these white columns on the front of the house.
Okay.
And they were going to have a white downspout come down them. And we had 4 or 5 meetings about this downspout. Someone put it behind so they couldn't see it. The customer was afraid if we put it on the side, it'd make it look out of proportion because it'd be too wide. And then if we put it down the front, there was no good way to drain it. And we just went, 3 days of this, 3 different meetings, just kind of went on and on and on, drug out. Just a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
Normally on a normal house, I tell a gutter guy, just go put the gutters up.
Put the gutters up and go.
So we got the downspouts on, kind of went with the plan we were talking about doing. Everything looked good. Customer shows up. I didn't see the customer for like a week. So like a week and a half later, me and the customer happened to be there at the same time. And I'm like, did you check out your downspouts? I thought they turned out really good. She's like, when they putting them up? I'm like,
she didn't even know they put them up.
I'm like, we spent 3 weeks talking about this. They've been up for 2 weeks and we haven't even noticed they're up yet, which the point of that conversation is sometimes what you think's a really big deal in your head ends up not being a big deal
after you sleep on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So just keep that in mind whenever you go through everything with the contractors. What seems like a huge deal in the moment is
you can get something stuck in your head at the time you can't get off of it. Yeah.
And what we have to remember as contractors is we do this every day.
Yeah.
This is normal to us.
Yeah.
But that customer, you might be working on the biggest investment of their life.
They're doing it once in their lifetime.
Which I fully understand, and us as contractors have to realize it from their side of their side of the world. But that's probably the three or four main ones. There's so many other little things that.
Well, I'm just glad I didn't hear maps on the bad customer side.
One thing that tremendously helps the customer or the contractor is just communication.
Yeah.
The more you keep them informed about when you're going to be there. I mean, me and you went through this. I'll be there Wednesday, Chris. Yeah. And then it rains or something breaks or the tile plow pulls in two, and I'm like, let's make that next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Chris,
No, I agree with you on the good customer, bad customer, and it's hard to get it. And I've got some things on my head, and I think we communicate very well on our part. So
Yeah.
I draw my maps. We meet on site, and you got my number if you need me. Have at it. So
And I don't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we deviate too far from the plan, I'm like, here's what I'm saying, here's what I'm thinking, what do you want to do? I guess on your side of things, landlords. I mean, they're the same way. There's some people's property you go on to, and they're just happy you're there.
Yeah, some, we just harvested one the other day, and he just tickled pink. We're even there. We can even get the yield we're getting off the ground, and just glad we're getting something productive off of it.
Right.
We've had a rent agreement, and they tell us don't even pay the rent. And they're just happy, just don't even worry about paying rent this year.
That's not me. I make them pay rent.
Yeah. And then the next one just, you can never make them happy. You're just always on pins and needles. I mean, and I don't know what's setting them off, but I don't know. It's I hate to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I appreciate the ground. The ground's productive. We've invested so much money in that ground already.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's you got good ones and bad ones, and we just work through all of them.
So I'm gonna kind of tie this in all together. So what's the realistic consequences of being a good customer, a bad customer, or a good landlord or a bad landlord?
The dollar sign.
Yeah. I don't know if people, and I'm being 100% honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Here if two people have identical pieces of property, they yield identically the same, but one is very easy to get along with and one's a real pain in the ass. Who are you paying more?
The one that's easy to get along with.
Probably considerably more as well.
Yep. Just because of the ease, and you're not worried about the burden and the time scheduling.
And that guy that's easy to get along with probably trust you.
Yep. Oh yeah, trust you 100%.
I'll be 100% honest with you guys. We go to a meeting and have a meeting about a job.
Yep.
Me and Matt have discussed this before, and it's slipped into a few videos here and there. On nothing the customer ever sees, but on our backside, we have what we call a DFF fee.
Yep.
I'm not going to say what DFF is, but I'll tell you the first word is dumb, and one word is not very nice.
Yeah.
And the other word's fee.
Fee. Yeah.
So you can figure that out.
You just add a percentage in there just to deal with the headaches that's coming.
So whenever I meet with a customer, probably 10% of the customers will get it. And honestly, we probably don't even want the jobs. I turn a lot of jobs down because I don't even want them. But if they are dead set on us doing it, and I see any of those red flags, there is a number that goes in there.
Yeah.
And let's just say it's a $20,000 job, and on the DFF line, we put $5,000 in there. I have dealt with these people long enough. I know these red flags that I know that number is what it's going to cost me to babysit you.
Yeah.
I don't make that money. That money is not profit to me.
No.
That's my cover my ass money, because I'm going to have 3 meetings about your downspouts.
It's going to slow your productivity down.
Right.
To what your normal business
now,
would be.
So I used to kind of think, is this right? But it's 100% legit, because that's what it's going to cost me to do this job for you.
Yeah.
If I do it for this guy over here, it ain't going to cost me that, because it's just like you said, you're going to hand me a map, leave, and gone.
Well, just like we was talking to John the other day, he was a mechanic at a dealership, and they knew they had the customers that come in every time they worked on their equipment, they were going to complain.
Yes.
So before they even sent the bill, they raised it 10%.
10%.
They knew that customer was going to come in and complain. They dropped 10% off of it, and he was happy as he could be.
Paid the same price.
But paid the same price if he'd just kept his mouth quiet and been done with it.
I think, a lot of these guys that want to bitch, moan, and complain, claiming they get good deals. Yeah. And what they don't realize is they've got a reputation, and on the back end, they're paying the same or more. Yeah. I know there's a handful of customers that I've worked for in the last 3 years because of there's other relationships or other contractors going in. I'm like, I knew going in this was bad. And gut instinct is, there was one basement we were digging a while back, and I did not have a lot. I was the subcontractor on the job. So another contractor called me to come in and dig. So I had no previous experience with this customer. I go up there, They show me where everything's at. She starts telling me about how the septic contractor screwed her, which is some guy out of India I didn't know. So I'm like, all right, that's a red flag. The next day, he's telling me about how he's suing UPS for spinning up his driveway. And I thought, I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
if they've already got lawsuits in place they're telling you about for something stupid, it's time to get out of there.
I'm like, and I told the contractor over there, I said, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They ended up in a damn lawsuit.
Really?
It was a damn fiasco. I was like, I am out of here. Matt was used to, whenever Matt started working with me, Matt was used to dealing with corporate American, which is a little different code of conduct than what we deal with. And he would have his customers meetings and tell me how they go. And I'm
like, be ready.
I'm like, no. There's a lot of them. I'm just like, no. I'm not even dealing with it anymore.
But you know, a lot of, on the ag side, the farmer, the attitude and mentality of some farmers, we're all different.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've
found that firsthand out there today.
You know, I've had some landowners that went through 2 farmers already, and I'll be the 3rd one come in, and we've been there 10 years, getting along just fine. It's just, you know, a different attitude or a different side of looking at it too.
I can think of one scenario, and it wasn't that the other farmer was a bad farmer. It was just a conflict of personalities.
Yes.
Which is a legit.
Yep.
I mean, I don't get along with everybody. You don't get along with everybody.
No, I agree.
So there are scenarios like that. You know, some people just can't get along, and I get it. You know, that is not. But
it's a give and take situation there. So,
well, with a little bit of research, you kind of know.
Oh yeah, you can do some research.
You know, it goes back to that research. You know what you get into and what you're not getting into.
But some of it I've researched, and I've still won for it. So no, it's I've had some that I've lost. I've had some landowners I've lost, and it's not been a sweat off my back.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. See ya.
Yeah.
And but man, I've got some really, really, really good landowners. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I mean I'm not everybody's cup of tea as a contractor. You're not everybody's cup of tea as a farmer, but you know, our reputations speak a lot. We've been doing it long enough. Our reputations, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go down to the country store or the corner market and ask somebody. You know what you're going to get.
You know, in the county here, or even 2 or 3 counties, you know, both of our reputations out there. And even you can go talk to another farmer. Everybody knows we'll speak for other farmers too.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, I vouch for. It's got me in trouble before, but I vouch for other contractors here and there, and everybody's got their niche. I think some people don't realize how closely we all work together.
Yeah.
You as farmers, us as contractors, and that's not unusual for us around here. Even Wade.
Yeah.
All the loggers, when they go to a big timber sale, they all sit around the same table.
Yeah, they sit around the same table and eat dinner. And
they all got their foresters they like working for. They all got their foresters they don't like working for. They all got their stories about this family member or that family member don't work for them. And it's the same world over there. If you're a known pain in the butt and you got a whole bunch of nice timber, you ain't going to get paid top dollar for them. They got to have their money out there to deal with you.
Exactly.
I guess the moral of the story is hire a professional and let the professional do the professional job.
Don't step back and let a bad contractor run over you, but don't micromanage the good contractors. Yeah.
If you come up to me on a job, you can ask me as many questions as you want to ask. But then don't hand me, I'm going to call your uncle out. Straight up.
Okay.
So I had a job grading a road for a subdivision.
Okay. I was trying to think of which one for a minute.
Had a job. It's a local subdivision here in Derby.
Yeah.
And I wasn't just getting started, but this subdivision looked for somebody to maintain these roads for 5 years. The guy that built the subdivision had passed away.
Yep.
Nobody's done. These roads are in horrible shape. And it's right next to my lot. I built a few houses up there, so I'm like, you know what? You call me, whether it's grading the road or plowing snow, it's $75 a phone call.
Yeah.
And they want to be billed once a year. Did it for, I don't know, 1 year. I think I billed them like $1,200. It wasn't much. No major issues. A couple steep hills on this thing. So I go up there. the next year, and I go up there the next year, and I'm grading the road, and this gentleman comes out. And I know for a damn fact he'd never been on a freaking tractor in his life.
I agree.
You probably know better than I do.
Yeah,
You've known him a lot
agree.
longer.
I agree.
Never been on a damn tractor in his life. Worked in a freaking paint factory.
Yeah.
All right? I think he was an engineer in a paint factory.
Yeah.
At least he acted like one.
Yeah.
Hit me a stack of papers this thick on how to grade a road.
Yeah.
Well, I just got off the damn tractor and handed him the key. I said, if you know how much about it, you go do it. He goes, no, I hired you. I said, well, you got the expertise.
Yeah.
He wouldn't, of course, he wouldn't get on the tractor. So
Well, he wouldn't know what to do.
Stupid. And half the damn shit on there about grading roads is like how you grade a damn road in Wyoming, which is completely different than what we do here. So,
Everything's the same across the United States, ain't
oh
it?
my God. So anyways, I threw the papers back at him. I graded the road and went on. Well, we got a snowstorm on Christmas Eve. So I was up there like 6 or 7:30 in the morning on Christmas Eve. We got like 8 or 10 inches of snow.
Uh-huh.
I got one path around this circle. I come back around the next time and he's stuck in the damn snowbank. And I just waved and drove on by.
Yeah.
Oh, he was mad. And he asked me what I needed to do. I said, well, where's your papers at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Papers at.
And I had no sympathy for this guy. I left him in the damn snowbank and went on. Of course, the bill that year ended up being like $2,800 if we got a lot of snow. Well, they were all furious. And they wanted me to do all this, that. And I had it all itemized out. I had the date. The president called me. It was 100% legit. I handed it to the president. I said, here you go. Long story short, here's what I'm trying to get with this. This guy was furious with me for not knowing how to plow snow, not knowing how to grade a road, and he thought I charged him too much.
Yeah.
He wanted to put it out for bid. I said, good deal, put it out for bid. I'm 100%.
Open for it.
I said, I'm all for this.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, Terry. Let's put it out for bid. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it out for bid. I said, sweet, send me a bid packet. So they end up putting it out for bid. Contractor calls, hey Mike, what's going on up there? I told him. Next contractor, hey Mike, what's going on up there? Called him. Next contractor calls, hey, what's going on up there? Told him. I said, I'm gonna bid on it. And they're like, what are you gonna bid? I said, I'm gonna do $600 a call. That's probably about where I'm gonna be. I said, if you guys want it, cut my knees out.
Yeah.
If you don't want it,
Yep.
keep going. So guess what? It went from $75 a call, and I was the cheapest guy at $600 phone call.
Oh, wow.
Then they wanted to negotiate. No, we're not negotiating. Why you get? I mean,
Yeah.
So that subdivision went 7 or 8 years with no road maintenance. I mean, it got in bad shape.
I remember going up there once. It was in bad shape, yeah. They
And,
kept trying to get the county to pave it, and they never would look at it.
But that's how being a bad customer gets you in a really bad spot. They had a good thing going, had no idea how good a thing they had going. And the obvious difference between the road was day and night difference between when I started. I ain't saying I did a perfect job. There was 2 steep hills. It was a 1-lane gravel road. It just needed maintenance.
Yeah, it was going to wash
You know,
out
and guys that come from the city that don't know how to drive on gravel will ruin a road in no time compared to the guys that drive on gravel every day.
Yep.
But that's just an example of
A bad customer.
yeah. And then, you know, down my engineering route here one time, we used to do spray foam.
Oh, yeah.
We did high pressure spray foam, closed cell, open cell. Did quite a bit of it at the time, and wasn't an expert, but we were very well educated by the foam company, and then we had a bunch of ties to the local building industry, which the Home Builders Association, which we helped lobby for different codes and different things like that. And we long story short, we pretty much knew what the hell we were doing.
You was educated enough, yeah.
So we're spray foaming this customer's house. He comes in there with a whole stack of papers and tell me how I did it wrong. That ain't gonna work. He's gonna have mold, and he ain't paying for any of that. I have to rip it all out, this, that, and the other. So I'm sitting here flipping through these papers. And says, where the hell did you get these from?
Yeah.
Printing them off down here. He had the damn Wyoming state law book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, we're in Indiana, dude. Like, how does that apply to anything we're doing here?
over here.
I said, if you want to go to Wyoming and build a house,
Go for
take
it.
out
See
with
ya.
you. So if you want to come build one in Indiana, you do a few of these things, you're screwed because the humidity level here is way different than the humidity level out there.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know what to say. Well, so of course, guess what he had the next day, which I knew he was going to have.
Yeah.
An income book.
Yeah.
And I mean, there may have been a few little tweaks we need to make.
Yeah.
We weren't that far off, and half the tweaks were we weren't finished yet. But guess what? That spray foam job ended up costing him.
Twice as much.
No, it ain't twice as much. It ended up costing him more just because he had to waste 3 hours of my day explaining to him
What was
the
going
difference between Wyoming and Indiana.
on? Ain't that crazy?
So it's, I'm not picking on nobody. I'm just saying, if you are a customer,
Yep.
how you communicate with your contractor can greatly affect your price.
Yeah.
That contractor is not making any more or any less money off of you. But if
Yeah.
you take up time out of his day, he's got to compensate for that. So you got to use your time wisely.
You know, we've ran into that selling hay. It's hay. It's grass hay. I advertise it as cow grass hay. It's nothing perfect. There's customers that's perfectly happy with it. Round bale, square bale,
Whatever it is.
whatever it is, easy to get along with. Just either they pick it up, deliver it, whatever. Our square bale market is pretty much our customers know where it is. They pick it up out of the barn. They know where to put the money. We don't even count the bales.
Yeah, just
It's an honor program. And then you got the next customer that wants to buy 2 round bales, and will sit there and bicker. It don't look right. It don't smell right. And wants to Jew in the price. And like,
Yeah, so you got
just get on down the road.
Yeah, so
Guy's not even worth messing with.
you got one guy's buying $2,000 worth of hay. Don't
Yeah.
ask the question. You never even see him.
Yeah,
And then you got a guy that's buying $200 worth of hay. It costs you half a day.
yeah, it costs you half a day
You know.
for education. I'm like, God dang, why do I get myself in these situations?
I seen a TikTok the other day, and there was a lot of truth to it. But this guy basically said that he can watch you order food at a fast food restaurant and determine how much money is in your bank account.
Really?
And I'm gonna forget some of the details of it. But long story short, if you can go up there, make a decision, and you have respect for everybody's time involved, the people behind you, the people behind the counter, and everybody back there, and then move on,
Yep.
you're going to be a hell of a lot than the person that goes up there and takes 20 minutes and fiddle farts around and
Special orders and
has no concept of the value of their time, your time, or anybody else's time. You know, of course, fast food restaurant don't have the option to charge for that. But that's just, you put that on a bigger scale, on a bigger job, and you can see where that adds up really damn fast. And there's another saying, if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
yeah.
Because they know how to manage that time and get shit done.
You know, as a farmer, you know, I'm about as honest and try to do stuff the right way and treat people right. By like Wade, I want to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And then you got the next Joe Blow down the road that if he'd worked just as hard at working as he does trying to screw people, he'd be 3 times better off.
You know what the most frustrating thing for me is whenever Joe Blow gets him a fish on the hook.
Yeah.
And you know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
But you can't do nothing about it because he ain't going to believe you. You think you're just trying to undercut Joe Blow.
Yeah.
And you just got to let it play out and let the guy get
Yeah, you
screwed.
just got to let it go.
You know what I mean? Because
it aggravates. And if you go get him to say something, well, then you're the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And
You just sit back and let it
I
go.
think we both been in that scenario where we tried to head off what was going to happen.
Yep.
And then you end up being the guy with the egg on your face, and you just got to let what's going to run
You
its
just got to
course.
let it run its course.
Run
Yeah.
its course, run its course. So, I don't know, Farmer Chris. I feel like we kind of rambled on here a little bit, but I think the goal of this was not to pick on anybody. It's just kind of give a little.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject to talk on for sure.
Give a little insight of kind of both sides. The number one piece of advice I could have for contractors and customers is be respectful of everybody's time.
Yeah,
that's what
the biggest thing.
We don't have any more of it. I mean, it's like I mean, you couldn't expect us to come to your factory job and take you off the line for 3 hours with no pay to discuss something stupid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you got to apply that to the other side of things, because if I'm not, just because I'm on your job don't mean I'm getting paid. I got to be doing something.
Yeah.
And
that's the biggest thing, respectful time. I mean, that probably sums up some of the ag world the biggest right there.
yeah,
I've ran into so many oddball stuff this fall. I mean, they want you to harvest at certain times so they can deer hunt while you're harvesting. This combine has to keep moving.
yeah,
I pulled into one farm just after dark. His neighbor come down there and wanted to know what time I was going to start tomorrow morning. I said, tomorrow morning? What are you talking about? Well, what time are you going to start tomorrow morning so I can deer hunt around the edge? I said, this won't be here tomorrow morning. And he was kind of, I've got to go. You know, this is my time. I mean,
you're out there doing a hobby.
Yeah, you're out there doing a hobby and I'm working. Yeah. I mean,
well,
just it's. I respect your time, and it's. I hope you respect my time, and we got to go.
Well, I think we can both sit here and admit we've never been the best customer or farmer, never been the best contractor.
No, I've made my mistakes for sure.
But as time goes on, you kind of learn. You kind of learn what's
what to look for, what's important, and what to look for.
Yeah. Like, see the trees through the weeds.
Yeah.
Was it the trees through the forest? Is that
I don't know. I've never heard that before.
I hope you can see the trees through the weeds.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, man, they're a little bit taller than the weeds. Those big weeds.
But, all right, well, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know if you had any good experience. If you guys are a contractor or had an experience as a customer, kind of curious what you think about what we said. And just kind of a random, we've talked about doing this for a while, but it's hard to
talk about.
Like I said, I don't want to pick on people.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
No.
Especially engineers. I'm sorry, engineers.
Yeah.
They're just too easy.
Now, Gator, we'll pick on, even though he is an engineer.
Yeah. But man, oh man. Like I said, honestly, the good engineers you don't know are engineers because they don't let it out. If the first word out of their mouth is I'm an engineer,
you're doomed.
Oh, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Now, if I find out 3 weeks after I'm working for you, you're an engineer, we're probably going to get along just fine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It is what it is. So, all right, we're going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if any other topics or subjects you guys want to hit on. I got a few more in mind.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have some more guests soon, and we're on to the next one.
Keep them rolling.
See ya.